And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the market recap for Monday, November the 14th. My name is John Hoagland. Thanks for trusting me with your time, as always. My deepest apologies to everybody who was looking forward to group coaching today and to make Hoag money today. I lost power shortly after, about 10:30, 11 o'clock in there somewhere, and wondering what's going on. I look next door, and there's a bunch of workmen in my neighbor's yard that hit a power line while they were putting in a new fence. So I've spent most of the session today in the dark and in the cold a little bit, but power is back on, thank goodness. And again, my apologies for those of you who are looking forward to group coaching and Make Hoag Money today. Tomorrow we do have Make Hoag Money right after the forecast, so we'll get that done. And then don't forget, on Wednesday for group coaching, we have Jared Tendler, the author of The Mental Game of Trading, and we've been reading through that book to get to know it before Wednesday, and it's a very, very good book. I'm really enjoying it. Very important book for a lot of traders, and we're looking forward to having Jared here talking to you and answering your questions for group coaching. You get enough of my questions, you're going to have Jared Tendler here to answer the questions on Wednesday. So we look forward to that. As far as the markets today, well, our equities were unable to hold those positive prices today. All of them opened lower, traded higher, took out Friday's high, and ended up closing lower. The S&P unofficially down 32 points at 0.8%. The NASDAQ down unofficially 108 points or 0.9%. And the Dow futures down 196 points or 0.6%. Something unusual in the natural gas. Apparently the Freeport liquid natural gas hub is extending its outage through December, which means they will be unable to export natural gas, which has a pretty good downside effect on the natural gas market here in the U.S. We're going to see that in the charts shortly, and crude prices dropped $3 to close at 85.87, just kind of taking the market right down to weekly kickoff low. We took a look at weekly kickoff low last week. Same level, and the market really sitting right on it right now. We're going to see that in the charts again. U.S. equities again struggled to put up a positive day. There was a talk on Fed today that I missed on my schedule. We did have Lionel Brainerd speak, and she had a lot to say, just a couple of points. She feels as though the FTX failure reinforces the need for crypto regulation. Of course, we know that all the bureaucrats are looking forward to regulating crypto. And because cumulative tightening takes time to catch up, of course, we all know that. It takes about 6 months. It's logical to move now at a cautious pace. So a lot of talking Feds, still not saying, we're out of the woods. We still have some pretty bad inflation, but thinking about slowing the pace of rate increases. So take that for what you will. Again, tomorrow we are looking at some more important economic information than we saw today. We have the PPI final demand preliminary tomorrow. That might be a good one. We also have the Empire State Manufacturing Index and Patrick Harker speaking tomorrow at 8 a.m. So we'll see how the markets are responding prior to the open to anything that Harker has to say, and we'll see that during the market forecast. And again, my deepest apologies. I got a lot of emails saying, "Where are you? Where are you? Where are you?" And again, it's difficult for us to notify people that are going to be coming, that are not going to be coming. It's a 1,000 emails if we have to cancel the group coaching. So instead of bothering 1,000 people, we try and let you know through some of our social channels. And again, sorry about Make Hogue Money. My brother Rick texted me and he's like, "What's going on?" So, well, I don't have any power. So he let everybody know in the chat. And so I don't want to waste anybody's time. And again, my apologies. So how was your trading day? I mean, the market's some pretty decent movement. We had not put in the high when I lost power today. And, just kind of watching on my phone as to what was happening. In the S&Ps, we put in another week high, but it still seems as though the market is struggling to the upside. Of course, we're going to see what happens with open interest tomorrow. Don't forget, crude oil is in rollover Wednesday into Thursday. Either one of those days will be moving into the January contract, January 2023. Hard to believe we're already there. Seems like this year has just flown by. Hopefully, it's been a good year and a good day for you today. So, let's go ahead and take a look through these charts here. I guess we'll start with crude oil. We'll go from top left, and in a clockwise fashion, here it is. The crude oil. We're talking about China COVID lockdowns creating some demand issues, and it certainly looks to be that way today. We taken out this trend line here so many times. I've kind of taken it out of the picture. Kind of range bound for the last couple of sessions, and really testing the weekly kickoff low here now. It wasn't necessarily the story as we closed the day, although the market did come through this gap. No island top or anything here. So the market just continued its push to the downside. We did have some overnight inventory to the short side that did test back to settlement, which put in our high. And then the market's continued its push to the downside, now testing weekly kickoff low. And for the S&Ps, we were looking at an open interest loss on Friday on an up day. Looking at this market like it's going to start to struggle to continue this move to the upside. It doesn't mean that it can't. There's plenty of money out there to continue this move to the upside. A lot of folks are thinking, what are we going to be doing? How am I going to be able to continue to profit? Is the market going to continue this move to the upside? Is this just a pullback in a bigger picture? If we look at the daily chart on the continuation chart, I mean, it still looks like this market is continuing this move to the downside, right? Now we're starting to see, a short time frame move in the opposite direction. Well, we've seen those. We saw it here. We've seen it here. We're seeing it here. Does anybody really know what's going to happen? Does anybody have any idea of what the future holds for this? Of course we don't. So we're looking to find out what happens in short, medium time frame, what our direct, I call them competitors, are like-minded traders, the traders that aren't the big money, deep pockets traders. That's what I'm kind of looking for in anything that I'm seeing in days in the day trading. So this morning, the market continued to attempt to push higher throughout the day, and it was bringing forth a delta divergence. We had a divergence the day before, last Friday. We had a delta divergence the day before that to some degree. So it indicates that we still may be seeing longer time frame buyers in the market. By the time we ended the day today, though, the sellers really kind of overtook the buyers. We do have a very deep number of negative delta, and now it seems as though the sellers seem to be winning. If we take a look at the TPO chart here, and we had a poor high on Friday. Well, the market opens lower, trades back up through that poor high, puts up another weak high here, another poor high, a no excess high. In other words, there's no excess up here. The market came up here once, it came up here again. Is this telling us that we've gotten a little bit too long? It certainly seems like it the way the market closed today, which did give us the benefit of a late spike to the downside. Well, if we have a late spike to the downside, that's going to give us some reference for tomorrow. Opening in the late spike or below is indication of acceptance of lower pricing. But if we open above, that means the market is rejecting lower pricing, and we can see the market perhaps come back up and take out this poor high that we put in today. It does seem as though the market is getting a little bit too long. We see the big up days, range, another kind of rangy day, a rangy night last night, kind of a rangy day today. But again, the late spike to the downside is going to be important information for us tomorrow morning. We'll also be looking forward to see what kind of open interest changes come forth, because we looked at this on Friday with negative delta. My expectation was we were going to be creating an accumulation in longer time frame of new longs. That was not true, because the open interest, we lost 12,000, almost 13,000 in open interest yesterday, which is more than the preliminary was saying. We actually lost more open interest on Friday than we thought. The preliminary number was minus 8,400, but it's worse than that. So what is this? Shorts covering? Well, shorts covering takes buying power away from the marketplace. You'll see what happens tomorrow. Again, we may just be looking at the fact that we've gotten a little bit too long in today's time frame, which I believe was pretty short time frame. And we have the late spike for us to check out tomorrow. So we will see how things play out. Now, here's the NASDAQ. It's going to look very similar. Okay, unable to hold the longs, unable to hold higher pricing today, taking out the week low from Friday. Unable to continue, the market turns, but does not take out the low of the session, does not take out the low of value from Friday. Interesting. Look at the delta here in the NASDAQ too. It's positive against potential sellers. Does that mean we've found longer time frame sellers up here? It could. We'll see what kind of open interest we see tomorrow morning. And for gold, we had our island bottom that I think we missed, and the market still is continuing to try and push higher. Just taking a quick look here at the dollar index, which did hold pretty well today. I mean, it's up at 106, where settlement was 106.25. It's on 106.84, so it did hold up pretty well. It did come off a little bit today, but when we look at the open interest that we added on Friday, let's take a look at the final. The final, we added 13,000, which is approximately what we said on the preliminary number. So the estimate was pretty good that we added 13,000 in open interest on Friday. and the market continued to try and push higher. The auction process is presenting as relatively strong. We did some weak volume today, so the auction might be getting close to some sort of change. Maybe some consolidation up here, maybe a bit of a pullback. Take a look at the 30. Already seeing a bit of a pullback from the close, which did leave a late spike to the upside. So we've got another important nuance or reference level to look at tomorrow morning in gold to see if we can find some decent opportunities. But once this market opened, we had overnight inventory to the short side. They were already reconciling, leaving the opening range at the low of the session, coming back to where the market opened, which was basically settlement, and continued to see buyers coming in with a nice pullback right back to that right where the market opened last night, giving us a nice opportunity up against settlement for continuation to the upside. The euro really just kind of held pat. I think this daily chart looked like this morning. We didn't do much. Dollar didn't do much. The market opens in range and value, takes out the overnight high by a little bit at the end of the day, never tests the overnight low. Very, very narrow trading range, very little going on in the euro today. Take a look at the volume. Not terrible, but still not all that good. Well, hi, Lacey. Lacey's over here saying hello. And for the 10-year, we have rates holding pretty well throughout the day. 38.75, 387.50 is what it looked like. It looks like right now, and it was 3.8. I mean, it's very, very close to where it opened today, so it seems to make sense that the market, just a very narrow range. Check this out. So we talked about the idea that this could possibly be a bull flag. We put in this trend line, 1, 2, 3 points of contact. We got a couple of more points of possible points of contact down here. I know, Lacey, we're going. I know. And so if we do break out above this could be a pretty substantial upside move. But why? We know rates are going to go higher. And here's the natural gas. So you see what happened today when that news came out. Daily looks like this is about the same. We're still kind of stuck in this rangy area down here, but it looked like it might have been a different story at the beginning of the day here. I didn't put settlement on here for some reason. I'm going to go ahead and throw something that is approximate on there. Okay, so overnight inventory to the long side, looking like we were going to hold. Then the news came out about the Freeport hub and POW. So inside range, inside value, but look what we did. Repair, high volume node, high, low. You're pesky, aren't you? So I got my big black dog here. Hi, Lace. I know we're going. I don't know if you can see her big ears here. No. Right. So I feel like I let everybody down today with the group coaching and make Hogue money, and I was looking forward to good day today, and one little broken. One little cut power line can ruin your whole day. This day in history, kind of interesting. Melville publishes Moby Dick. 1851 on this day. Call me Ishmael. And in 1969, this is the day that Apollo 12 lifted off. What happened in music in 1992? Number one on the UK album chart with "Keep the Faith." Bon Jovi, first on the charts today. 1991, New Kids on the Block. Over 1,000 fans were given medical treatment after a minor riot during a concert in Berlin, Germany. 1987, I remember this album very well. George Michael went to number one with the solo album Faith. Great album. Some really good music on there. Ray Charles went number one on the U.S. singles chart with Georgia on My Mind on this date in 1960. I know, Lace. Chill. Got to get you out. Today's Brian Yale's birthday from Matchbox 20. Today's James Young's birthday from Styx, the guitarist from Styx. He's getting pretty close to the bottom of the list. And that's going to be about it for the forecast. So, we are, come here, you. We are looking forward to tomorrow. I'm looking forward to a day tomorrow that I can engage all day long in the markets and with everybody. So I will look forward to seeing everybody for the market forecast. There she is. Hi. There's Lacey. Oh. I got to get her out. She needs to get outside soon here. So that's going to be it for the recap. Lacey, you ready? All right. We'll see everybody tomorrow morning again. Whether you're watching now or if you're watching later. Again, my apologies about coaching and make Hogue money today. Only so much I can do about it, but I still, it's hard. All right. Get a good night's sleep tonight. Be ready for the markets tomorrow. We actually have some information, so there's more to go on tomorrow than just what's going on in our heads. And knowing what goes on in my head, it's kind of scary. All right, so get a good night's sleep. We'll see you in the morning, same time, 7:45 for the market forecast. Blessings to you. Pray for peace. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. And I'll see you in the morning.